Good morning. This is Bye Bye Money, and today is October 5th, 2020. Welcome to day 12 of my journey to doubling my account using only price action. If you're watching, thanks for joining me on this journey. Let me know if there are any topics you'd like to know about price action in the comments. I'm doubling a 5K account in the MES micros before moving to the ES minis. For those who do not know, MES is 10 times smaller than ES. The chart moves almost identical to the ES. So you get the price action of the ES, but a tenth of the exposure. Theoretically, if you can double an account in the MES, you can double an account in the ES. In fact, it is actually harder to trade the micros since the percentage of commissions is more for the micros than the minis. I began this journey because if you can make 1% a day, it'll take only 100 days to double your account. There are 252 trading days in a year, so it'll take less than half a year to double your account. If you can double your account twice, then you would have 4x your account in only 1 year. Then every year after that, it will be exponential growth. I'm currently around 29% of my goal. I've been making an average about 1 to 2% a day, so I'm currently on track to doubling my account in about 2 to 3 months. I'll always have my account amount on the top of my screen. The price action strategy I use is a two-legged pullback and traps. A two-legged pullback is a pattern that looks like this. First pullback, first entry, second pullback, and we like to enter into the second entry right here. And the pattern could also go this way, and we like to enter right here, expecting the market to reverse. We like to trade the two-legged pullback because we know the market likes to move in twos, according to Al Brooks. The market tries to make 2 attempts higher, and then when it fails the second time, that's when the traders are confident to go into the counter trend, or the trade counter trend. If you look at my screen, I have very few indicators. I have the 20 EMA, I have the 240 SMA, which is this dotted line, and I also have a custom indicator that I created which counts legs and tells you what kind of leg the leg is. It tells you if it's a two-legged pullback, or if it tells you if it's a trap. It also tells you the upcoming leg that's coming up. The dark red and the dark green numbers are two-legged pullbacks, and so we have a two-legged pullback coming over here, upcoming here. Also tells you the tick count. If you'd like to know more about this strategy, you can check out my channel for price action for beginners. I tell you all about counting legs and finding two-legged pullbacks and traps. Al Brooks recommends you trade your I don't care size. So for me, that's 3 contracts, 2 scalps, and 1 runner. I use the 2584 tick chart as my main chart. Mac from Price Action Trading System uses the 2K chart, which is fine, but I like to use the 2584 since it is the closest Fibonacci number to 2000. Why Fibonacci numbers? Well, because Fibonacci numbers appear all over in nature, and so if the market reflects human nature, I would like to use the Fibonacci numbers when I can. Also use some other charts to help see different time frames. These are all Fibonacci numbers. I use the 610 chart, the 2584, the 10,946, and also the 5-minute chart, because Al Brooks used a 5-minute chart, so I like to mimic the best. Now onto the technical analysis. Currently it's 8:50 a.m. EST, so regular trading hours has not started yet. I like to go as far back as I can. For those interested, I have 2 weeks worth of price action data. So trading like a 2K chart, I think 2 weeks worth of price action is enough for me personally. But I'll go back here and I want to make sure I get these right. This point. So currently this is the lowest point I have in 2 weeks. Oops, this would be like this actually. So what you like to do if you make a channel is essentially, if it's an uptrend, if it makes higher lows, higher highs, then you want to connect the bottom pivots. You want to connect two pivots that do not intersect any other pivots when you connect them. And if you make a line, it won't intersect any other points. Then you have a valid channel. Once you've made the bottom trend line on the uptrend or ascending channel, then you go to the other side, and between these 2 points, 2 bottom pivots, you find another pivot on the top side that if you connect it, any point between these 2 points, if you connect it, it won't intersect. If you make a line, it won't intersect any other points. And so I'm using this point right here. As you see, it broke through here and came up and came back down and actually tested the top of this channel almost perfectly. And as we keep going, we see it bounced off again 3 times, making a triple bottom, and now it bounced off of it. It's honestly trading in a range at the moment, I think, but I'll turn it into a channel since it's slightly ascending. So if I use this point, this is really far. These pierce it, so I need to actually use this point right here. So now I have my channel. For slightly broader context, I'm going to actually make this one a little more transparent. Because it does act as support, but it's not as relevant as ones I can make right now. So this is obviously going up. Those are wondering, this red line is actually yesterday's close, so I like to mark that. Usually acts as a support resistance level. So we have this uptrend here. And if I were to quickly do this, it would look like this. But as you can see, the top here keeps poking through it. So I'm actually just going to reduce this to a, just so I have it, just a bottom trend line. I'm going to actually make this one the main channel here that we'll be using. This is a little more clean if I use this one. But as you can see, we have an uptrend and then a steeper uptrend. And typically that results in some sort of wedge that's going to break down. In my opinion, I think this will break down and sooner or later test this bottom trend line here. So we're currently going upwards, and within this channel we are trying to maybe make the top of the channel here, but we have this breakdown right here, tough big breakdown. That was when the news came out for Trump. The market does not like it if they think Trump is at risk of losing the election. I'm just saying that right now. So pierced it, came back in. I'm just not going to take that because it's too many, it's broken too many times. Clean this up a little bit here. you missed it and it reversed. Gives us a good clue that it will come back the other way. So last night I tried to get back to yesterday's close, but didn't quite make it. For to make this a channel, kind of works. Right now it's like super choppy. I don't think this is, in my opinion, tradable. It's too many overlapping bars. Look at how many overlapping bars we have here. Trying to think here. This is a little difficult to chart. I mean, I can make some very short-term channels here. I think if I were to use these points here at a certain point, since it overlaps so many times, it goes into it. This might be the reason why it's looks like it's curling up. But in my opinion, this is pretty much what's happening here. So we have two channels that are fighting at the moment. We have this uptrend, up ascending channel, and then we have this potentially sideways to descending. In my opinion, I don't think there will be a trade for a while, but we'll take a look. I also like to chart the 5-minute. I like to chart the 5-minute because the 5-minute tracks both price and time, whereas the tick chart tracks volume and price, or price and time, or price and volume. You might ask, oh, you can just throw, a volume indicator on the time chart. That is true, but that volume indicator doesn't really interact, doesn't give me any price action information. The tick chart actually gives you price action information with the volume. So I like to have both. Having the volume indicator without the price action is kind of, the volume indicator itself doesn't really, in my opinion, tell you much. Other than there are a lot of trades that happen in a particular spot, a particular bar. But within that bar, you can have so much price action, at the end you don't know really what it's saying. But if you have the tick chart, it actually tells you how the volume is, the price action of the volume itself. So I like to have both. Sometimes I really like to find confluence between the volume. When I have kind of a corresponding trend lines and they match up with the tick chart and the time chart, I figured that works well because now you have both volume and time working together in terms of price action. And so I find the confluence between the two is pretty nice. You have this channel here. I'm going to get rid of it because irrelevant at this point. It broke down. It's a big wick, but this wick here and this wick here, this tail, shows you a range up here on the upper part of this channel. So even though it's kind of big wick, still can be very bullish. 10K can trap. It can easily trap here. B, C, A, reverse. You can see a trap coming up by the magenta colored signal. So how does this look like on a 2K chart? That is breaking the 3370, 25. Come way up here. Hmm. 610 looks weak, looks bearish. 610 actually looks bearish. Trap getting ready to trigger on the 2K. This looks bearish. A, B, C, A. I'll try here. I want to see a hit on the ES first before going in, because I don't want to get a ghost fill. Balancing out the 20 EMA. Okay, I'm in. This is my signal bar. I'm gonna get stopped out here. It's two-legged pullback, 20 EMA, A, B, C, A. Let's see if we can get a point here. Risking very little. I'm not gonna skunk this. Let's let this play out. Okay, hit my target. A, B, C, A. The 20 EMA on this ascending channel. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get much more than that here. I feel like I'll be stopped out. It's too choppy. But I'll hold it. A, B, yep. Okay, got stopped out. So I should just got the rest of that scalp, another scalp. That's it's pretty classic two-legged pullback. A, B, C, A. First pullback, first entry, second pullback, second entry. This one actually happened to be a trap. Technically it's a trap because you have this leg A, B, C, A made less than a point and reversed. And so, we still have this channel, acting as support, so I would not take that, right? This is actually two-legged pullback too, A, B, C, A. But I wouldn't take that because of this support here, of this upward channel, even though it's too steep to sustain for a long period of time. Who knows if it'll break down here. This could go up. In the other time frames, like this hits here, I think it's gonna pop up, to be honest. Yep, let's get this trap here. Let's do a 2 scalp here. I think 2 because the range is so large. I don't want to lose 3 points on that, or 3 contracts. This is a big range here. 1, 2, 3, 4-point range. If it does go the other way, so I'm just doing 2 here. Just looking for a point. It's the 5-minute chart. 3 bull bars in a row. Let's see if I can make a point down here. We'll see. This is not going as I wanted to go. It's a disappointing reaction. I could possibly lose here, but only trading 2 contracts, so I feel okay. Okay, made my point. A little scary, a little disappointing, but yeah, I mean, it was a trap at the end, right? You had this strong down move, A, B, C, A, less than scalper's profit, and reversed after an inside bar. So, a little scary for me. Hitting the top of this channel again. I'm waiting for a measure move. Goodness gracious. You're waiting for some sort of measure move. I would say something like this maybe. Up here. Rest in peace, bears that went right here. Who went short, bottom of a trading range. Rest in peace. Getting there. Ooh, ooh. 10K chart, obvious obvious target, about 1 point away. I'm looking to short here. I'm looking for a short here. On a good signal bar. Okay. Okay, signal bar for me. Miss about 1 point. Looking to scale in if I have to here. My premise is strong. Even if I scale in, I will actually try to make a point off the scale in. Exhaustion bar in my mind. Give me a point here. That looks like an exhaustion bar. Hitting the top of a range late in the trend. Just waiting for my point. Waiting patiently for my point here. It could give me one more pop-up, but even after that, I'll be able to scale in. I'm highly confident. But I would just like to point out if I can get it. Point made. Most likely won't get this. It's just too many bulls fighting here. Honestly, I would love it if it actually hit it, but it made a wick here. Exhaustion bar. You know, like pretty close, about 1.5 points away from my target. It'd been beautiful. It touched it perfectly, but or even pierced in, came back in. But I'll take this, and if it goes up again, I probably would take it again. I might scalp a couple here, which would be nice. Most likely we'll get stopped out though, but we'll just hold this just in case. I'm like 90% sure I'm gonna get stopped out here. But it's a free ride. We'll let it go. Still in this. For how long though? That's a question. Ooh, I want to go short here on the 5 minute if I can get the candle right. 10K. Unfortunately, still has a little more room to go up on this secondary channel. Not sure. $6.10. Just chopping its way down. I just want one strong push up. That's all I want. Just wanted to touch this. I'm interested in this, I guess. Just because there's enough room still. 3 pushes up. Ooh, should I skunk this? Ooh, should I skunk it? Should I skunk it? Alright, I might skunk it. It might skunk. Be nice if it just filled. Nice, filled me. I just saw 3 pushes up at the resistance here. It's more clear on the 610. 3 pushes up. Tries to push again, but fails. The 20 EMA is probably gonna. I'm probably gonna stop out. Yeah. One more push up. Give me one more push up. This has more. This has more. Trap triggered here. Get to my target, please. Again, this yellow line was created from this pivot, this pivot. Wow. Clean it up a little bit here. That pivot, connecting this one to make a channel. And now we find ourselves at the very tippy top here. Tippity top. About 2 points away. 2 points away to my target here. A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Corresponding the 5 minute confluence in the 5 minute with all my tick charts here. Getting in soon. Gonna get in soon. I'm interested here. On the 610 chart. Scaling in if I have to. My premise. Enough room to the 20 EMA. Trigger down. I'm already in this trade, basically. Give me a point. Okay. Didn't fill me. I'm not skunking it. Staying in. Staying in this trade. There it is. My point. Came all the way up here. It's missed it by 2 ticks or 2 points. Close enough for me for now. It might do another push up to get there, but that to me was close enough to get at least a point. I'm pretty sure I'm going to stop out here. There it is. I stopped out. Of course, break even. Waited a long time to hit this target. That, my friends, is from way back here. This pivot, these 2 pivots, and it finally came back to retest it way up here. Incredible. That's why I do extension to the right, because I would have erased that if I didn't have that. Let's get rid of this. This measure move. Copy paste it to here. It's currently on. Okay, it's breaking out now. Exhaustion bar should be super obvious. Again, the trap. Oh, this trap failed. This trap failed. This trap failed. I'm interested here. It tried to trap, but couldn't make a scalper's profit. Let's see if I can get in here. I'm in this trade. Failed trap. Trying to make a point here. Failed trap at resistance. That's why I'm interested. This could turn on me. Just be patient. Be patient. Be patient. Do not skunk. Do not skunk this trade. Be patient. point made. Let's ride this as long as we can. So failed trap at resistance. Basically, you had 1, 2, 3 pushes up, essentially making a wedge here at resistance. Wanted to make a scalp there. Okay, stop me out. Wrapping up here, ending the day at 53.58, which is a little more than 1%. Today, honestly, it wasn't that hard. It was more annoying or just waiting around until the price got towards some key entry points. At least that's how it was for me. So ended up with a record of, let's see, 6 wins, 1 skunk, or 1 break even. Actually, it's it's a little more than break even, make a quarter point because I'm trying to save on commissions. So basically, to sum up the day for me, was we had this one strong push up in the beginning of the day, and all this noise right here, this took a solid 3.5 hours to resolve. Maybe almost 4, yeah, 3.5 hours to resolve. And honestly, it was kind of hard to make a trade in this area because of how choppy it was. There were moments it breaks out, and you might be able to have made a couple points here, but then you have this, which is, you can make a point, but that's dangerous. You have all of this chop, all this chop. It's not until around 2 o'clock where we start to finally get some price action we can trade. Just looking at this, I think one of the more incredible setups was the channel here, using these 3 pivots. Making this trend line, connecting the pivot here, and we came all the way up to test it, and it acted as resistance once it touched it. That's where we got a scalp right here. And also with these pivots, this is where we're finding ourselves right now, finding resistance at this trend line. And so we were able to make a couple points off those, but really other than that, it was pretty hard to find. Not hard, but again, it's just have to be really patient today, which was annoying, but kind of works out if you're working. You can just glance at it whenever price gets near those key entry points. So, but yeah, 1%, fine with that. I took the setups that I thought were good. Yeah, this was a nice one too. This measured move, acting as resistance, measured move right to the resistance, acting as good resistance right now. But yeah, so we'll see what tomorrow gives us, and yeah, hope this has been helpful. God bless.